As educators, we aim to break down those walls and get our students interacting with the real world. But organizing a community-based learning activity often feels like an exhausting logistical puzzle. There is a straightforward way to manage this. We can use a 5-step framework that turns chaotic event planning into a predictable, repeatable process. And your community resources are closer than you think. Look at these interconnected figures. They represent the local heroes, physical cultural artifacts, and even the virtual experiences available right in your own backyard. You don't need a massive budget to make this happen. All it requires is a standard lesson plan and a basic communication channel, like a class WhatsApp group or Google Classroom. By the end of this sequence, you will have a complete, actionable blueprint to plan and execute your very first community event. A structured framework converts the logistical overhead of an event into a manageable routine that fits right into your existing curriculum. Step 1 is needs analysis. Your first move is to take a specific topic from your existing curriculum and map it directly to a relevant local resource. For example, if you are teaching a module on healthy eating, you can connect that module directly to a local chef or a doctor. Or if you are covering safety protocols, you update the plan and bring in a local firefighter. Before they arrive, you must work with these experts to tailor their presentation so it matches the specific developmental stage of your students. This brings us to step 2, collaboration. Reach out to your chosen expert and bring the parents to the table to help with the planning phase right from the start. You can manage this entire outreach process using digital tools you already have, like a simple WhatsApp or Telegram broadcast message to keep everyone updated. You know you've completed this phase when you have 2 things in hand: a committed community partner and a confirmed date on the calendar. Establishing clear, transparent communication early on reduces parental uncertainty and secures community buy-in before the execution phase begins. Step 3 is the pre-activity setup. This is where you sit down with your confirmed partner and finalize exactly how the visit will run. If you are bringing physical elements into the classroom, like cultural artifacts for a mini exhibition, you'll need to arrange the space and group your furniture to allow for movement. If an in-person visit isn't possible, you can set up a digital alternative. This means testing hardware for a remote expert call or setting up an immersive virtual museum tour. To keep this organized, use a pre-flight checklist. The first mandatory item is setting your core learning objectives. The second is contacting and fully briefing your community partner. And the final item is preparing your physical materials and the classroom space. Completing this setup is how you transition from being an active lecturer to a guiding facilitator once the event actually starts. Now you are ready for step 4, execution. This is where your careful planning pays off during the live event. The most common mistake educators make here is allowing the guest to stand at the front of the room and deliver a one-way, passive lecture. The unbreakable rule for execution is that the session must involve hands-on, inquiry-based problem-solving. Give the students a task to complete. Have them plant a seed alongside a local farmer, or build a balanced nutritional plate with a visiting chef. Once the guest leaves, you move immediately into step 5, post-activity reflection. Students need to synthesize what they just experienced. Guide them to create a physical output, like a drawing, a scrapbook, or a mini exhibition to share with their parents. Finally, sit down with your fellow teachers to evaluate the program's success. Use this time to refine your task distribution for the next event. The live event provides the initial spark, but the true educational value is locked in during this structured reflection phase. By following these 5 steps, you have successfully bridged the gap between an isolated classroom and the real world. Students shift from passive memorization to the active practice of critical thinking, communication, and real-world confidence. Once you've mastered the basics, you can challenge your class with more advanced tasks, like assigning students to interview a local elder or a small business owner and present their findings. You can start this process today. Download the attached blueprint checklist and draft the plan for your first event. This framework grounds abstract curriculum in local reality, making your lessons far more tangible and memorable for your students. Because when you use your classroom as a launching pad rather than a cage, the entire community becomes the curriculum.